Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Shangri-La Frontier, episode 33, or episode whichever of season 2, I'm just gonna say 33, in which the fight of Sanraku versus, what's her face? I forgot her name. Versus that other player of Nephilim Hollow, right? Nephilim Hollow is the name of the game, I think, is gonna continue. And that's basically it. That's basically all my expectations for today's episode. Whether that fight is gonna conclude in this episode, or it's gonna continue, or is Sanraku going to go back to Shangri-La in this episode, or is it something for the future episode? I don't know. All I know is that the fight will continue for sure. And a bit of a correction. In the previous episode, I wrote down a theory that the player that Sanraku is fighting right now might be Tsukuyo Tsukuri, and it's not the character that I meant. I meant Ritsu Amachi, also a developer on Shangri-La. On Shangri-La, but a different one, and she looks much more like who Sanraku is fighting right now. So maybe it's her. I don't know. I already made a correction in my theory notebook. We'll see where it goes, if it goes anywhere, of course, because it's not a guarantee that she's any sort of a special character that we've already known. She could just be a random player of Nephilim Hollow that we've never heard of, and we're never gonna hear of again outside of Nephilim Hollow. But yeah, what happened in the previous episode? Well, Sanraku fought her, and lost, and and he lost. Because he's rusty, because the meta has shifted. It's been a good few months since he played Nephilim Hollow last, but he did tell her that they're gonna fight again. Just give him some time to create a new Nephilim, to relearn the ropes, to readjust to the meta and stuff like that, and they're gonna fight again. And indeed, he went on to get a new Nephilim. First of all, he had to hunt a new enemy, I believe, added to the game. A open-eyed Nephilim, I think that's how they classified it. And that would serve as a base for his Nephilim, for his robot. We got a primer on the lore and the story of Nephilim Hollow, and Sanraku bought a bunch of pieces, and he learned why. Yeah, she's not listed on the list of characters. Maybe on my anime list, but not on any list at least. But yeah, his opponent basically wants to lose, as he learned, because she only changes her robot, she only changes her mech whenever she loses. As long as she has a winning streak, she doesn't change it. And she's kind of bored with it. She would kind of want a new one, and other people in the game would also want her to use a new one, because it's kind of boring when she's using the same one all this time, all those months and years maybe even. So everybody's cheering for Sanraku, including her. She was even ready to very happily give him some battles to train. Let's spend some more time together, Sanraku-san. Or is he still named Sanraku in Nephilim Hollow? I can't actually recall. I think he is. I think he is. So yeah, she is like +1 to Sanraku's harem. We all know that nobody is gonna replace Emul, right? Like, no doubt about it. But still, it's undeniable that Sanraku forgot to turn his Riz off, and he is covered in girls in every single game he plays, apparently. What else? We also learned that a good chunk of why she's so successful, we can attribute to her helper dude, who is like a handler, right? He always goes somewhere, observes the the battleground from like high up or from somewhere else or from cameras or whatever, and he gives her useful intel. And I don't know how it is, within the rules of the game. Is it allowed? Is it not allowed? But it is something that she's doing. So Sanraku is essentially fighting a 2v1 fight in a way, and he figured out a way to win. Maybe, perhaps. He created a very deceptively built robot. One that's very short and stout and stocky and heavily armored, completely unlike his usual style of being fast and agile. Has a powerful melee weapon on one hand and not much else when it comes to offense. And he also has active cloaking, which is not great in the game because, yeah, it hides the model, it hides the mesh of your mech, but it doesn't hide the effects. So all the rocks and pebbles that you raise as you go, all the clouds of dust, all the thruster effects, stuff like that is still visible. So it's kind of a shit item, but Sanraku figured out a way to use it properly. He waited for her to attack him. That created a whole cloud of dust. He was able to survive that attack because of how heavily armored his robot is. He made it to some corner somewhere and prepared for an ambush. As long as he's immobile, there are no effects to betray his presence there when he's under active camo, and he launched himself at her robot with her claw that deals massive damage but is kinda unwieldy. But at this sort of distance, it didn't really matter, so he managed to cut off her arm. Which is still not a win, and he still has to keep fighting her, but maybe it's gonna be enough? I don't know. I really actually don't know how this fight is gonna go. I could honestly see it going either way. I could see Sanraku winning, I could see her winning. Really. And I could even see a situation where she wins, but Sanraku's like, oh, you know what? That actually gave me idea when it comes to Shangri-La Frontier, so, cheers, I'ma see you next time. And she's left there, blue ball. She didn't get her desired loss. She didn't even get a serious fight because all Sanraku was treating it as was a distraction from Shangri-La. And that could also be a fun way to conclude this mini arc. But we'll see, of course, where it goes. We'll see in this episode. But you awake now? My cat is sleeping on my desk. She woke up, apparently, probably because of me talking a lot. Yeah. Lay down a little while more. Yeah, we're gonna see it in today's episode, right? So, shall we watch it? To do it, you're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with that, we can start watching Shangri-La episode 33 in 3, 2, 1, go. The useless intro. Would be cool if they at least continued with the shtick of like replacing Shangri-La with Nephilim Hollow in those like logos and stuff, and this intro was about Nephilim Hollow, right? That would at least be something, but as it is, we just get a useless intro. And a bit of a summary of the previous episode, I guess. No, not really. Just an explanation of why he's playing Nephilim Hollow. And straight into the opening. How long is this episode? 22 minutes. 22 and change. Yeah, so... No, 23 and change. So yeah. Gonna lose some of those minutes. Not that I mind the opening, absolutely not. but the opening and the useless intro are delaying the episode, you know? I just want to get into the meat of things. That's why I usually prefer when the show starts, the episode starts and continues for a few minutes, and then we get the opening, right? I have the time to get into it, and then the opening can serve as a bit of a cliffhanger, maybe, right? A bit of a distraction. Yeah, that works much better. Someone's unloading something from a truck or something outside. Yeah, I think that's... There we go. I think that's a bit better exposure. And we even get a bit of a recap. Yeah, he was probably planning to cut her in half, but he only managed to get the arm. Pizza cutter? Okay. Yeah. He was planning on just finishing her, not just maiming. Oh, but at least the, rocket launcher is also out of commission. Good question, actually, yeah. Oh? Oh. Like mid-combat? Okay. That's cool. Yeah, so he couldn't have made it agile anyway. So he might as well have gone full armor, and so he did. Hmm. Oh, and the leg change animation prevented any dust cloud to raise because he was off the ground already when he jumped. Okay, smart. She's having fun. Gonna try the same trick again. What if he has two different active camos equipped? Or a, I don't know, battery attachment or something that lets him run it for longer. That's usually useless in PvP, but perfect for Sanraku's use, right? Yeah, she's not waiting you out. Yeah, I mean, it's much more fun than just sitting around and waiting. And ultimately, what she wants from a fight is fun. So, obviously. she doesn't care about winning as much as she cares about getting a proper challenge. You got eyes behind your head? Or are you relying on your friend to feed you information? Yeah, so that's the main weapon out. Unless he has some hidden one. Okay. Right, asymmetric boosters allow her to spin. It's not. Willing to bet it's not. He just wants to get her exactly where he wants her. Right, so slow her down with the net and then do a, like, full-on attack. Makes sense. Yeah. Limit her mobility. In the head. Headbutt attack. So that's the pizza cutter. Ooh, I love the music. A tie? Although, yeah, Sanraku has much heavier armor, so chances are he might survive that stab. But she won't, because she's forgone armor in name of mobility. In favor of mobility. There we go. Couldn't have gone any other way. Watch her use Fiddler Crab now. Or something similar. Yeah? A lot of different strats, right? Not just relying on powerful, I don't know, railgun and that's all, right? Yeah, he's going back to Shangri-La. You're getting cucked again. He is. Gonna wait for the meta to change again. She's possessive. Shangri-La has robots? Oh shit. Time to play Shangri-La again. Or start playing Shangri-La. Oh? Yeah, I mean, you gotta beat Weathermon. Or get access to Inventoria somehow else. Oh! Oh, that's compelling! Unique scenario in exchange for unique armor. Oh, shit. Fair, yeah. Oh, just information, not like a suit of armor. Okay. Mm-hmm. Except her, apparently. I mean, maybe. We don't know if she's seen it and faced it. We just know that she knows about it. Or, yeah, something connected to it. Oh? True. Yeah, if it's something like, you know, at level 2 you need to do 3 backflips off a cliff while throwing knives at a rabbit, then it's not much useful, is it? That's also true. Yeah, he can't just share that info willy-nilly. Yeah. '15th, that's quite far. And Master of the Abyss is the unique monster. She really likes robots. Yeah, useful enough, I'd say. Okay, so it's not like the unique monster scenario itself, it's like a lead up to it. True. Indeed. Though he's coming back eventually, every now and then. Yeah, you have a chance to use a new robot. Exactly. Have some fun with that, and then I will come to face you. Perfect. Oh, she's gonna make it right now. I mean, sure. Okay, makes sense, I guess. uh, you're not escaping this game, mate. That was fast. Yeah. Was about to say that she probably had it in mind for quite some time now. Oh, they're looking for open eyes or oh, for Sanraku and Roost. This track. And left for ranged. She likes asymmetrical designs, doesn't she? Will the crab manage, though? You got an audience. Slept well. Two fights in a single episode. I mean, it's been like 19 minutes already, so we're probably not getting the whole fight. Okay, that's not a pincer. It's like shoulder stabber and a hand stabber. Or hand stabber and armpit stabber. Either or. Oh? Lost? Was that? Emil waiting for him. The loyal wife that she is. Where do your loyalties lie, Sanraku? In Emul or in Roost? Sikru. We have seen him with that shinobi girl player, right? Who also has a scar. Who might be Roost. Yeah. That's the Shinobi girl. So she's gonna be there to potentially take on the Zigwurm. That's not Rust's voice, I don't think. Akitsu Akane. Okay, we get a name to the face now. I'm constantly trying to, like, look for connections to existing characters. I don't know why, really. But, like, whenever, first time she appeared, my mind immediately went, even back in the opening, oh, Sanraku's sister, maybe. Or Sanraku's mother. Or maybe Mana, the girl from the game shop. Now that we've met Rust, I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's Rust playing the game, but her personality seems different, so maybe not. Same goes for Rust, right? Oh, maybe it's Ritsu, right? I don't know why, to be honest with you. Probably because of the sheer factor that everybody has essentially an alter ego, right? So who's to say which of the people IRL are any given player in Shangri-La, right? Who's to say which player in a different game might be some player in Shangri-La as well? Saraku plays multiple, right? Pencilgun plays multiple, Oikatsu plays multiple, so you never know. No theater. Damn. Okay, let us watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall, as we always do. Oh, now she went to sleep on my bed. The lion catches a rabbit with its full strength, the crab catches a phoenix with a pizza cutter. Okay. That's like a name of a move in a wuxia manhwa. Like after ascending to 7th Celestial or something. Yeah, a bunch of new parts that nobody figured out how to use, or might be even useless for the usual users, right? Brand new part, people haven't had the time to figure it out yet. It drains energy, it gives a bunch of weight, it lowers your mobility. Nobody used it in PvP because of that. Well, Sanaku's gonna be the first one. He finds the, not obvious things to use, the things that nobody else does, and uses them to great effect. That's actually a good strategy. Anti-grav legs, yeah, while dodging, he swapped his leg set, so that made it so that he didn't raise like additional cloud of dust. Yeah, she's not gonna wait for him. It's not fun. Waiting game is not fun. Playing is fun, and also she wouldn't want this fight to be too easy, right? It would not be a challenge facing against Fiddler Crab while he's fully visible. This gives her much more challenge. Yeah? It's not the optimal way to play, but it's the fun way to play. Yeah, her asymmetric build and her like sharp ended legs that don't really have feet, I don't think. Yeah, it's just a spike, right? They allow her to rotate on the spot, which is actually super cool. You could like spin to win, like extend your arms with those slicey bits on, with those blades on top at the tip, right? And just turn on the thruster, stand on one leg, and just spin through a mob of enemies or whatever, right? Cool. It's a cool build. Capture net, yeah, but she only has a single direction. She has a single direction she can dodge in faster because she has the thruster only on one side. So she's gonna dodge in this exact direction, which Sanraku knows, forces her to dodge, and reappears on her escape route with a pizza cutter. Yeah, I think those blades spinning in the other direction would be a little bit more effective. But, I mean, it's just a game. It's just hitbox touches hitbox and deals damage. It's not actually, like, ripping into steel. Yeah, I think you can guess which one wins when they both strike each other. Exactly. All Sanraku needs to do is deal a moderate amount of damage to destroy Crimson Wing? No. This robot, right? Meanwhile, he has much more armor, so her just stabbing her is... Sure, it might have reduced Sanraku to like 10% HP, but it's still, 10% HP. He's still alive. Bookmaker, active camo, dummy legs, yeah. Information overload for a few minutes worth of fight. That was also part of the strategy, right? Like if he knows about, oh yeah, he has a railgun and he has Electrosight Mark II. I know what those do, right? I know what those thrusters do. It's like a static, simple build. I can figure it out. I can feed Roost information because I know what those things do, and the situation doesn't really change, right? Like the railgun might have an overcharge attack or something, but I know of it, and it's like a static thing. It has a regular attack and overcharge attack, or whatever. Meanwhile, Sanraku keeps pulling constantly new bullshit, right? New legs hidden inside of other legs, a pizza cutter hidden inside of his back, and all sorts of stuff like that. You cannot predict what's gonna be the next thing he pulls. It could very well be that his like left arm is not really just a gun, but it has a suction cap that attaches to Roost and explodes, or whatever, right? Crimson Twine Wing. Yeah, not Crimson Wing. Gotta go back. But yeah, can't really leave people here. It wouldn't sit right, would it? Everybody's been having so much fun. The entire community has been resurrected immediately as he logged in, right? People were calling other people, getting them into the game again because Sanraku is fighting Roost. Sanraku's back and is fighting the top one player. You gotta be there to see it. Immediately made the game much more lively. And now that he leaves, like, okay, Roost gets a new Nephilim. She fights a couple of people and she wins. And what? Cycle repeats? Like, right? It's not really that exciting whenever Sanraku leaves. His bouts with Roost are what's the most exciting thing about Nephilim Hollow right now. Yeah, robots in Shangri-La, and she's immediately interested. And unique scenario, Ktarnid of the Abyss. Ktarnid of the Abyss, octopus-like unique monster that appears in the oceans. No player's actually seen it. Information comes from NPCs. And yeah, of course, he's right. He needs much more information to go off, because if the information is of the kind that he would give, right? Like, oh, you need to crit on a Vorpal bunny when you're level 3. It doesn't help any established player unless they roll a new character, for example, right? If the info they have is there's an NPC that claims that the monster is somewhere and he gave us a quest to, like, dive for pearls, and maybe Ktarnid will appear when we're diving for pearls, that's also useless, kinda. It's, well, maybe not useless, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the information that he's looking for. So yeah, it makes perfect sense that he would want to learn more. And also the fact that Inventoria is shared between the three of them, so he can give out one of the pieces of armor or information about Inventoria only when Oikatsu and Pencilgon also agree that the info about Ktarnid is worth it, right? They probably will, if the info is actually good and actually meaningful. But yeah, they have to agree nonetheless. 15th city, Fictitia. Sanraku is currently in like 5th city, I think, or 6th, something like that. So like a fair bit further than he's in right now. Although he did get to level cap recently, so perhaps going to Fictitia would not be quite as much of a challenge as it would have been otherwise. Find the ghost ship, Crying Innsman. Sacrifices people to the Cthulhu, or whatever the name of it is. Scenarios directly connected have a bonus, yeah, EX. Abyss Disciple scenario of yours might lead to a bonus one. Yeah, so any comparison we have of like a regular unique scenario leading to a bonus scenario? Rabituza kinda leading into Weathermon, I guess, right? Yeah. Yeah, Rabituza leading into Weathermon, so it's probably gonna be something like that. But yeah, if we clear that and get the bonus unique scenario, then yeah, that's a great bargaining chip. Then you call Pencilgon, you call Oikatsu, you give Roost her set of armor, and you go fight the next unique monster. This might be my chance to go after a bonus unique scenario other than Vorpal Epic. Imagine Sanraku getting 2 unique scenarios, and Oikatsu still getting none. Oikatsu left dead in a ditch, everybody around him getting unique scenarios. Oh, Sanraku wanted to be so cool. It's time to make a new Nephilim, and when you make it, then I'll come fight you again. Well, shit, alright. Let's fight. Here's my new Nephilim. Let's fucking go. It was predictable, but also amazing. Sanraku really wanted to be cool here, and the whole scene was like, you know, oh, Sanraku-san wants to fight me again. I will. I will make the best Nephilim there is, and I will fight you, and then I will win. Right? But no, I have it right here. Let's get right to it. I love me this sort of a, like, not inversion, but like, you know what I mean? Right? Like you expect one thing and they do another thing, but both are equally cool. So, yeah. So smug. And just like that, 2 huge fights in a single day. And of course Sanraku can't escape. Of course he's gotta face her. With this many people, and with a strong opponent, gotta fight a strong opponent. And we don't see that fight. Sanraku just wakes up. We don't even know if he won or lost. Doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't really matter whether he won or lost, because both him and Roost had fun. And that's what matters. That's what matters here the most. And not just that, he only has the prospect of getting another unique bonus scenario, right? And that's also what matters here. Sikru. Yeah, so Vash is still missing. We don't know where he is. Is he preparing to be another unique monster? Or is he just lost and we gotta save him? Or what's the deal here? We don't know that. But yeah, he is gone. He really is gone. Found a human worthily acknowledged by Sigvurm, the Golden Dragon King. Okay, so the way Sanraku was acknowledged by Lycagon, the same way Akane was acknowledged by Sigvurm, right? It doesn't mean that she will necessarily go and fight Sigvurm right now, right? It's not necessarily that she will steal the unique monster kill from Wolfgang, but she's been acknowledged. Possibly also marked by Sigvurm. I wonder if that's the scar on her face. The reveal is very, like, meaningful. Like, it's supposed to be an oh shit moment kind of reveal, right? Like, oh, blue hair and green eyes and a scar. Holy shit! It's who exactly? Right? Like, it's played to be meaningful this way, but I don't know who she would be. Like, my first thought is, of course, Sanraku's sister, because duh. My next thought is Rust, but her demeanor is completely different. So, or it could be someone completely different that we haven't met yet. Yeah, it could be whoever, really, completely new character. I don't know. But yeah, she's been only marked by Sigvurm. It's interesting, though, that both a player marked by Lycagon and a player marked by Sigvurm made it to Rabituza to presumably continue their quest. Means either Sigvurm is also some sort of a Vorpal enemy that triggers the Vorpal Epic, or some variation of it, or it means that Rabituza in general is like the nexus for unique monsters. Because all this time I thought that every unique monster kind of sort of like has their own Rabituza. We know that there's one with cats, right? So I thought that maybe, I don't know, Sigvurm has like a village of kobolds, for example, or the Cthulhu one has like a otter people village, or right? I was thinking in those terms, and they give you a quest to go after that, but at the same time they know of the existence of other unique monsters, right? The way Vash knew about the existence of Weathermon, for example. But what ultimately triggered Rabituza was the Lycagon encounter. But apparently multiple different encounters can make it to Rabituza. I wonder if it's the Nexus here, or is it simply every village gets like few monsters associated with it. Like Rabituza gets Weathermon, Lycagon, and Sigvurm. Then the Cataluza, or wherever Aramis is from, gets like Cthulhu and like two others, or how does it work? I don't know. Maybe we're gonna learn about it in the future. Interesting that she's so prominently featured in the ending and in the opening as well, to be fair. I wonder if she's joining the team, or are we gonna go for like a split storytelling where like half an episode is about Akane going after whatever, then we go back to Sanraku and they maybe meet and they split and stuff like that, right? I paused on this frame because I just realized that we don't know who this is. I kind of took it for granted that it's, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's all the people we know, right? There's Oikatsu, there's Pencilgon, there's this, there's the professor, there's Momo, there's her, and wait, who is that? I don't know. It's, maybe I thought it's Animalia, but Animalia has those like big hair So it's not Animalia, I don't think. I don't know, it's someone. It's someone for sure. Or maybe it is Animalia. Because, like, the leaders of all the guilds allied with Schwarzwolf, not Schwarzwolf, with Wolfgang are here, right? We have the leader of Schwarzwolf, we have the leader of the library, and we have the leader of SF Zoo. So maybe it is Animalia after all. I don't know. Probably is. Probably is Animalia. And I'm just reading too much into it. I don't know. We'll see in the future. But right now, that's gonna be it for this episode. And it was a cool one, sure. It was a nice fight that Sanraku had. I love the character of Rust. I really like how much of a... can you even call her a tsundere? Kinda, sorta, but a tsundere in a way where she, like, wants to fight and, like, idolizes Sanraku to a degree, but also wants to win, and she's like, no, that doesn't count, you whatever, but also she's happy that she lost, right? Like, it's this sort of a weird tsundere-ish mixture, and I really, really enjoy her character. I really like how tomboyish she is. Fucking love me some tomboys for sure. And her chemistry with Sanraku is great. And that she just came up with a new Nephilim right there when Sanraku tried to be cool, like, I will return on the 7th moon of the 7th year and I shall face you again. But no, we're doing it right now. That was great. I'm glad that the Nephilim Hollow storyline is done, though, for the moment, for sure, because if we were to get... I was actually kind of afraid that we're gonna get another full-blown fight and it's not gonna fit into a single episode and that fight is gonna finish in the next episode and it's just gonna be Nephilim Hollow, Nephilim Hollow, Nephilim Hollow. Because ultimately I wanna go back to Shangri-La. Like, I like Nephilim Hollow and the stories in there, for sure, but ultimately I like Shangri-La a little bit more there, right? Shangri-La is where all the characters we know and love are. Shangri-La is where Emul is, waiting for Sanraku, where all the quests that he picked up are, all the people, his guild and everything, right? So I really didn't want Nephilim Hollow to overstay its welcome. I'm kind of reminiscent. Yeah, sure, that's a word. I'm kind of reminded of the flashback arc in Helk, where, yeah, okay, it was cool and all, but 3rd episode, 4th episode of a flashback, 5th episode of a flashback, 6th episode of a flashback. Can we fucking go back to current timeline already, right? I enjoy, like, splitting into a different timeline or going to a different game, like in this case, but in moderation. And I think this episode hit the sweet spot where the next episode being in Shangri-La is probably for the best, in my opinion at least, right? One more episode in Nephilim Hollow would be pushing it a little, if you ask me. But yeah, they're doing good, it seems, going back to Shangri-La, so I could not be happier about it, and with new people. Right? Sanraku is gonna presumably travel with Rust and Mold now to figure out this unique bonus scenario. Maybe they're gonna join forces with Akane briefly. We'll see where that goes. Right? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun new, like, spin on the formula a little bit. We had Sanraku go solo with Emul. We had Sanraku go with Pencilgon and Oikatsu. Now we have Sanraku join potentially a new team briefly, right? It's fun. It keeps things fresh. It keeps things new, and I like it. And I think I'm gonna like the next incoming arc. We'll see though. Although there hasn't been a thing about Shangri-La that I haven't liked, besides maybe like those poor Elias CG robots in the previous episode, but that's like minor detail ultimately and a very technical one, because from a story standpoint and from a character standpoint, it's a great show. And I have absolutely zero qualms zero complaints about it. So hey, keep it up, Shangri-La. Keep it up. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories? Already said that. Like this video if you liked it. No spoilers. Spoilers can go to my Discord if you like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Shangri-La but also Ari Fureta, Dan Mahona Remekau, that Mao 2099. I gotta catch up with those yet. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified when I go live and when the videos go up as well. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel an awful lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: Cubies, Rainer, Dr. Watt, Akamasar, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to cut off anybody's pincer.